From this supine position, let's focus on belly breath. So the hands are on the lower belly. Inhale fully. Feel those hands lift up. Exhale fully. Continue doing that deep belly breath with the mouth closed. And from here, release the hands from the belly. If you have a block, reach for it. It's not required. Slide it between the thighs, skinny height or middle, just kind of depends what feels more comfortable. I actually had bruises on my thighs from squeezing too hard the other day. Hands down by the hips. We're going to move into a bridge flow. So gently squeeze the blocks. Feel that core activation. Then inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Connecting the movement with the breath. Strengthening the legs, resetting the pelvis, and opening up through the front of the body. And now that we have the lower legs set, let's add the arms. As we inhale, hips up, arms come overhead. Exhale, everything comes back down. Gently warming up, working on shoulder mobility as well. One more like this. Then removing the block if you have it. Crossing the left ankle on the right thigh. Walk the right foot so it's in the midline of the body. Hands down by the hips, moving into a one-legged bridge. So inhale, press into that right foot, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower. We'll do fewer of these because they're more challenging. Really isolating that right leg. We all have a stronger leg. And by working things individually, we make sure to work them equally. Here's the challenge here. Let's hold at the top and just little pulses. And how high you are, it doesn't matter. This will be intense no matter where you are. Then lower on down, slide the arms out to a T, deep breath in. Exhale the legs to the right, getting that hip stretch. Look over at the left hand. Inhale to center. Straighten the left leg, foot flex, slide the hands back down by the hips. Exhale, lower the leg, hovering above the ground. Point the toes, inhale up. Flex, exhale, lower. A few more like this. Last one. Then bend the left leg. Put it right next to the right foot, so feet together. Right ankle on left thigh. Right foot flexed and active. Inhale, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower. Try to press evenly into that left foot. You'll feel the hips rocking a little bit. That's normal. Try to activate the core, hip strength to kind of stabilize everything. Holding at the top of the next one and those little pulses. If the pulsing is too much, feel free to continue with the flow. Then lower on down, slide the arms out to a T, deep breath in. Exhale the legs to the left, looking to the right. Inhale, center. Release the foot, bring the feet back hip distance, slide the hands down. Right leg up, exhale, lower. Point the toes, inhale, straight up. Flex, exhale, lower. 3 more like this. Focus on linking the breath to the movement. Then bend the right leg, feet hip distance, preparing for bridge again. Inhale, lift. Option to hold this bridge, or you can add those gentle pulses here, whichever feels best on your body today. And then slowly lower down. Hugging the knees into the chest, stretch out those glutes. Option to gently rock side to side. Then keeping the legs elevated, but sliding the arms out to a T. Deep breath in. Exhale the legs to the right, hovering above the ground, both shoulders still glued to the mat. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Option to add neck turns, looking at the opposite hand from the way the knees are going. The meeting in center, releasing the feet to the ground. If you have your block, reaching for it again, placing it between the thighs. Inhaling the legs straight up, feet flexed, legs active. Interlace the hands behind the head. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl the upper body up and hold. Squeeze that block. Keep the legs like this, but release the head. Deep breath in. Inhale, curl up. Turn the toes to the right, so twisting through the hips. Back to center, release the head. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl up. Turn the toes to the right again. Extend the right hand toward the left toes. Keep squeezing that block gently. Not enough to leave bruises, but enough to activate that lower core. Feet back to center, hand to the head, release the head. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl up. Feet turn to the right. Right hand extends toward the left toes, and then bring the left hand to meet the palm of the right hand. Feet back to center, hands to the head. Release the head, release the legs. Take a breather. Then elevate the feet, extend the legs. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl up. Toes turn to the left this time. Back to center, release the head. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl up. Toes point to the left. Extend the left arm. Squeeze the block. Hand back to the head, feet to center, release the head. Last one. Deep breath in. Exhale, curl up. Turn the feet to the left. Extend the left arm to the right toes. Right hand comes to meet it and hold, squeezing that block. Feet to center, hands to head, release everything. Move the block out of the way, stretch out, full body stretch. Hands to the back of the thighs. Start to rock front to back, massaging the spine. If you want to challenge the core, you can balance on the sit bones before you rock back. And then rock all the way up to seated and come to easy pose. If your hips are tight today and your knees feel like they're up to here, you can sit on the block. Otherwise, get comfy on the floor. Then from here, we're going to move into neck rolls. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, roll to the right. Exhale, back chin to chest. Inhale, left. Moving with your breath. The meeting in center, bringing the soles of the feet together for butterfly. Introduce some gentle movement, flapping your wings. Then we're going to move into a little bit of a seated flow for the hips. So we're going to go from static butterfly to straddle, slide the legs together, back to butterfly. So you can place the hands on the floor for stability. So straddle, slide together, butterfly, straddle. Just a few more. And then when you next end up in straddle, hold there. Sitting up nice and tall, we're going to flow side to side. So left hand comes to the ground, right arm overhead. Inhale up, exhale over to the other side. Now, as you're moving through this, make the legs active, so feet are flexed, kneecaps are lifted. Try to press into the ground with the sit bones as you flow from side to side. Usually the opposite hip lifts up ever so slightly, so think about rooting down as you're lifting up. And then meet in center. Bring the feet together for easy pose, one leg in front of the other. Moving into a seated cat and cow. So inhale, open through the chest. Exhale, roll on the sit bones and curl forward. A few more of these with the breath. And then making our way to center and coming to all fours. All right, from here, everything's stacked, wrists stacked under shoulders, knees under hips. Press back to child's pose just for breath. Forehead may or may not touch the floor, that's okay. Inhale forward to a kneeling plank. Exhale back to child's pose. Warming up the arms, core, and this should feel nice on the back. Option to add on here if you would like. When you're shifting forward into kneeling plank, you could drop the hips into cobra and then back. Check in with the lower back and the hip flexors, see how that feels. If it's too much, stick to the plank. Last one. Then coming back up to all fours, bringing the left hand to the left ear. Inhale, point the left elbow up. Exhale, point it between the right knee, right hand. Then inhale back up. Flowing like this with the breath. On this next one, let's reach the left arm all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it all the way through, coming to the left shoulder, left side of the face. Right hand can stay where it is or wrap around the back of the body. Release the right hand to the ground, gently press up to all fours. Then from here, let's reach the left leg straight back, toes pointing down, and pulse. Then from here, we're gonna drop our right forearm, turn the left toes to the side, and pulse again. Now we're getting the outside of the hip. Come back up to the right hand, turn the left toes down. Another challenge pose. We're gonna swing the left leg forward into a lizard. If it doesn't come all the way up, that's fine. And then swing it back to half spinal balance. Swing it forward and back. So working on hip mobility, but also strength. One more. And then we'll hold for straight back. Rotate so the toes turn to the left. Lift the left arm up, kneeling half moon. Try to lift up through the core so we're not leaning into that right hand too much. Then place the left foot on the ground for kneeling side plank. Left arm can go overhead, stretch through that left side. Really press the left foot into the ground. Left arm back up to the ceiling, then rotate to all fours. From here, shift forward to a kneeling plank. Lower yourself all the way to the ground for cobra rolls. So hands underneath the shoulders, legs active, forehead released. Inhale, lift the chest and the head, stay looking down at the ground. Exhale, release. Connecting your breath to the movement, opening up through the front of the body and strengthening the back of the body. Holding at the top of this baby cobra, breathing. Think about lengthening through the sides of the body and the spine. Release the head down, turn the head to the left, right cheek on the mat, relax the arms. Neck stretch, but also time to relax. Bring the forehead back to the mat. Prop yourselves up by your forearms for Sphinx. So elbows under shoulders, palms down. We're going to inhale the right leg up and straight back, toes pointed, look forward. Exhale, drop the leg, drop the head. Inhale, left leg up and straight back as you look forward. Exhale, drop the left leg and the head. Continuing with your breath, alternating sides. Last one. Relax all the way down, turn the head to the right, left cheek on the mat, relax the arms. Forehead back to the mat, hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, press up to all fours. Knees back underneath the hips. This time, right hand to the right ear. Inhale, right elbow up. Exhale, point between the left knee, left hand. Moving with your breath. This time, inhaling the right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread it through. Lower down to the right shoulder, right side of the face. Option to reach the left arm behind the back to the right hip. I like to hold on to my pants, give me something to bind to. If you can actually reach your right thigh, that's another good area to bind. Release the left hand. Press on up to all fours. Extend the right leg straight back. Make sure those toes are pointing down because that helps activate the hamstring and glute. And then pulse. So notice here by how we rotate the hip, we work different parts of the legs. By toes pointing down, so hip in neutral position, we're hitting the glutes and the hamstring. Now hold here, drop the left forearm, turn the toes to the side, and now pulse. Now we're getting the outside of the right hip, the abductors. I always get adductors and abductors confused. Keep the leg like this, but press back up to all fours. Turn the toes down. Now we're going to do that lizard swing. So swing the right leg forward and then back to that half spinal balance. Just a few more. Noticing if this feels easier or harder on this side. It's definitely more challenging for me on the right side. Last one. Then let's hold back here. Bring the left toes out a little bit for stability, like a kickstand. Then lift the right arm. Kneeling half moon. Bring the right foot to the ground. Press into that right foot. Bring the right arm overhead. Gently press the hips forward. Full body stretch through that right side. Right arm back up to the ceiling. Rotate to all fours. Turn those toes under. Shift on up to down dog. Pedal out the feet. Just a little reminder that a straight back is more important here than straight legs. Then looking between the hands, walking the feet forward to forward fold. On the next inhalation, inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale the hands through heart center. All right, then from here, inhale the arms back up. Exhale, fold, straight back, bent legs. Inhale, half fold, hands on the shins, straight back. Exhale, release. Hands to the ground, step the right leg back, drop the knee for kneeling lunge. Inhale the torso up, and then shoulder rolls. Right toes can be tucked or untucked here. Inhale the arms up, bring them to cactus, and then just tip back a little bit. Right glute is on, it's firing, gives you a deeper stretch through that right hip flexor. Then hands down to the mat, lift up the right knee, step back to plank, drop the knees, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or full cobra, up to you if your back feels warm. Release down to the ground. Inhale up, back to child's pose. Deep breath in through the nose, side out. 2 more deep breaths here. Press on up to all fours. Swing that right leg forward just like we did earlier. Inhale up, and then shoulder rolls. Inhale the arms up, bring them to cactus, glute on, tip back. Breathe. Keep that imaginary apple between the chin and the chest. Back to neutral, then bring the hands to the mat. Lift up the left knee, step forward to forward fold. Hang here. I like to bend the legs quite a bit and then let the head hang so my chest is actually supported by my thighs. And inhale all the way up to standing. Interlace the hands at the top, index finger released. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale to chair. Arms parallel to the ground. And then from here, let's step the left leg back into goddess pose. Arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, moonflower. Inhale up. Moving with your breath. Crack, crack. Then let's hold this squat. Arms come parallel to the ground. Then we're going to step forward back into chair and fold. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up to standing. Interlace the hands at the top, index fingers released. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, chair. Then from here, we're going to step the right leg back into our wide plie position. Straighten the legs, arms up. Exhale, sunflower, squat, hinge, swoop the arms down. Inhale, back up. Moving with your breath. On this one, let's hold the squat. Bring the arms parallel to the ground, palms facing forward, then step forward to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. Interlace the hands at the top, bring them to the base of the skull. Turn the glutes on, core on, tip the head back. Back to center, release the hands down. All right, this is where if you have blocks, they can be helpful. You do not have to use them, but we're going to do a pretty challenging transition, so the blocks could be helpful. Place them at their lowest height. Make sure they can't move around. If you're not using them, that's also totally fine. So hands at the hips. Let's hinge down. Bring the hands to the blocks. Step the right leg back. Walk the blocks so they're underneath the shoulders. Then inhale the left arm up. Lunge with a twist. Exhale the left hand down to the block. This is where they're going to help with the transition. They give us more room. So hands on the blocks. We're going to swing the left leg back to three-legged down dog. So get there however you need to. Then tap the left toes down. Inhale back up. Keep those toes pointing down. We're isolating the hamstrings and the glutes again. And if your arms don't feel up to three-legged today, feel free to drop to all fours and do the same up and down movement with the left leg. Then let's hold the left leg at the top, and we're going to swing it forward between the hands. And notice how much easier that is with the blocks, right? Right foot down for warrior one. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, straighten the left leg, pull the arms to cactus. Inhale back to warrior one. Exhale, straighten, pull to cactus. 3 more here. We're working that right hip flexor and strengthening the left leg. And let's hold our warrior one. Interlace the hands behind the back. Option 1, pull the hands apart, keep the elbows bent. Option 2, palms together, open up through the chest. Bring the hands to the hips now. Start to shift the weight to the left leg. Reach for your blocks, walk them forward. Then lift the right leg into a warrior 3 variation. Breathe. So in this pyramid, the IT band should feel awesome. You're also getting the hamstring. And the blocks really help to just lengthen through the spine, relax the shoulders. Then from here, bend the left leg a little bit. Step the right foot forward. Walk the blocks right in front of the feet and press into them for a half fold. Breathe here. Then bend the legs. Step the left foot back to lunge. Bring the blocks to their lowest height right underneath the shoulders. Sink the hips. Place the left hand down on the block. Inhale the right arm up. Breathe. Exhale, unwind. Here's our challenge transition. Hands to the blocks. Swing the right leg back to three-legged. And then tap the right toes. Inhale the heel up. Moving with your breath. Again, this can be done from all fours. So you could transition and swing the leg back just like we did at the start of class. Then leaving the right leg up, swinging it forward between the blocks, so much easier. Left heel down. Inhale the arms up to warrior one. Exhale, straighten and pull the arms. Inhale back to warrior one. Moving with your breath. Then holding warrior one. Interlacing the hands behind the back. Same options. If they both feel good, try the one you didn't try on the other side. And from here, releasing, bringing the hands to the blocks, walking them forward so they're underneath the shoulders, shifting the weight to the right leg, lifting the left leg up, warrior three. Then lower the left foot for pyramid. Lengthen through the spine, walk the blocks back as you need. Exhale, hinge. And all of this can be done without blocks as well. It's just more challenging. And then from here, start to lengthen through the spine, bend the right leg, step the left foot so it's hip distance, walk the blocks forward, press into the blocks, so half fold here. And then from here, let's bend the legs, come down to all fours, walk the blocks back so they're by the ankles. Again, you can just use the ankles instead of the blocks here. Right hand to the right block or the right ankle. Inhale the left arm up, glutes on, core on, imaginary apple between the chin and the chest. Back to center, neutral. Left hand to the block or the ankle. Inhale the right arm up. Back to center, neutral. This time, hands to the lower back, core on. Inhale, lift through the chest. Think about lengthening through the spine. And if you're feeling supported, you could bring the hands to the blocks or the ankles. Slowly come up. Move the blocks out of the side. Come to kneeling, knees wide, big toes together. Press back to child's pose. Breathe. From here, walk the hands over to the right side of the mat, stretch the left side of the body. Back to center, and then over to the left. Back to center. Come on up to kneeling, hero's pose. So if your hips don't rest comfortably on your heels, you could instead place the block underneath, up to you. Then from here, let's interlace the fingers behind the back, bring the palms together, reach the knuckles for the floor. Release the hands, shift the hips, come to seated, bring the soles of the feet together for butterfly. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale on up. Bend the legs, bring the soles of the feet hip distance, hands behind, fingers pointing to the hips. Option 1, open up through the chest. Option 2, lift the hips, keeping that imaginary apple between the chin and the chest, and trying to look like a table. Slowly release. Left leg straight, right leg bent. Then from here, we're going to put the right foot in the left arm, so that crease. So leg is supported. This is cradle the baby. You can rock side to side or just hold. Now we're going to add a little bit of fascia release. Just bring the right hand to the ground and roll, just a little bit onto that outer right hip. Back to center. Release the right leg. Bend the left. Lock the knee. Bring the left foot to the inside crease of the right arm for cradle the baby. And I should have said, if this is nowhere near where your hips are at, you could also place the ankle on the thigh. Same stretch, just different intensities. And then option to bring the left hand to the ground. Oh yeah, and find that outer hip spot. Some people like to gently rock back and forth. I find it's more effective for me to pin and hold, but every body is different. Back to center. Both legs straight, feet flexed, legs active, hands by the hips, staff pose. You should feel that lower core engagement. Try to lengthen through the spine, relax the shoulders. Breathe. Then relax the legs and hinge forward. Relax the head and shoulders wherever you get. And come on up. All right, we're going to use the block for supported fish. If you don't have a block, just lay down on the floor. If you have the block, it's going to go between the shoulder blades. So lay on down, make sure the back of the body feels nice and long. Relax the head to the ground. If your head does not reach, you could use the second block under the head. And then if you're on the floor or on the block, arms out to a T, palm up, and then bring the legs to butterfly. Breathe. Bring the knees together. Roll to one side and move the block out of the way, and then come back to the back, hugging the knees into the chest. And then let's hook the knees in the right arm as best you can. Left arm out to the side, and then guide the knees over to the right. And you can slide the right arm out and then look over at the left hand. Alternately, you could just drop the legs to the right. Inhale to center. Wrap the left arm around the legs. Guide the legs to the left or just lower them to the left. Slide the left arm out. Keep that left hand there and look over at the right hand. Inhale, center. Release the feet to the ground. Bring them to the edges of the mat. Drop the knees together. Notice how that feels. If it feels better to straighten the legs, go ahead and do that. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Then we're going to try emptying breath. So count how long it takes to inhale in your head and try to exhale to 2 counts longer. So if it takes you 5 to inhale, try to exhale to 7. We'll do that for a handful of breaths, and then we'll move into our regular breath again. Then return to your natural breathing pattern. We'll do 1 more minute of relaxation. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to get up, go ahead and wiggle those fingers and toes. Rotate the wrists and ankles. Then reach overhead, full body stretch, nice and gentle. And then roll to one side and press on up to seated. Feel free to stay there. Thank you for joining today. Namaste.